have DALI, which can again do this job much better. We have video generators. Currently the state of the art is Sora, so you can give a prompt and it would generate a proper video. We have 3D visual generators. For example, Point E, which is something I had used, but I think there are better models now. So for courses like engineering design, where you need to look at the 3D of an object, it's not easy to create different 3D objects or assignments. We can use these models, create 3D and then give it as an assignment. So those objects, 3D objects can be generated just with the text. Then we have audio generators. Audio generators, again, ChatGPT also has, or GPT-4 has a variant of audio generators, and we'll see some use cases later on. And then we have code generators, which is something which I think all of us use. So code generators like Codex are there. Currently, Cursor is the latest state of the art. So the way it works is you have a code, you integrate Cursor inside the code, and it would try to model and make corrections. So you can just give a prompt saying, okay, can you correct this particular piece of line, and it will generate a code, and you can just paste it. So it is pretty well tested. And then we have text generators. Text generators are again Claude and GPT. So some specific use case that we can see is, but again, we'll summarize also this. So we can generate text using engine, which is formally we can define as a text prompt and some of these models are Claude. We can have images from text where you can give a description and it would generate a text. These are DALI models. And then speech generation. But I think with speech there are now music generation and voice modulation which can be generated. However, again there are ethical concerns to this. For example, if you are generating music, is ChatGPT taking music from some places and giving it to you? Those are concerns we'll have to find out, because those are biases we can't avoid. We will, I think, see in the risk section why those things we should be very careful about. Okay, and again, there is voice modulation from text, so you can give a text and it can modulate the voice. But again, it has some ethical concerns, but those things are there. So I think one prominent example is people will give text prompts to different celebrities, and a song will be generated using celebrities' voice. So yeah, those things are there. They are pretty good because I have played around with them. But again, there is a bias there. Okay, and lastly, there are ways to generate 3D objects. So there are courses or there are robotic applications where you need to understand 3D. There are applications where you want to train your deep learning models for 3D objects, and those things can be taken on by these models. But again, these models are more in simulation. We need to check how do they perform in real world scenarios. There is one more interesting application which is going, which is very popular in startups in Indranagar, which is generating games. So you have certain scenarios, and if you give a prompt, it would generate games. It would generate newer characters, and it